Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So we do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. Very important when you're dealing with people that have spiritual blocks, especially when you're like, I am a good person. That person that I just attracted is not a good person. And they say that you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. So I don't think that I'm a bad person, but being with a person like that, they would, they can convince you as if you're a bad person. That's the irony. And so karmic just means learn. However, we tend to associate it with negativity. So understanding why you're attracting the person into your life, what needs to be healed within inside of you, meaning how do you integrate the spiritual lesson and transmute the negative energy so you can raise your vibration and either change this person because you're changing yourself and you change the entire dynamic of the connection, or you meet somebody else that vibes at a much higher vibration. Sorry about that. Someone was at the door. I've been trying to start this video 3 or 4 times. So I think that there's something going on between you and your person, Scorpio. I think that your person's tried to reach out to you, has tried to come to you, has tried to talk to you several times, but they keep getting interrupted, they keep getting sideswiped, so there's something going on with the person that you're connected to. And I only say that because, I mean, I've tried to start this video 4 or 5 times and I'm like, there's no mistakes. There's no mistakes. All right, so let's see. Now, if you're new to my channel, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. Okay, so let's see what that word is. The word of the video is pride. I believe that you and this person had a falling out, and they really thought that you were being obnoxious. They really thought that you were attacking their character. They really thought that you were being judgmental. They thought that you were being rude, and you hurt their feelings. The irony is, I feel like you didn't really say anything that wasn't true. You just didn't sugarcoat anything. You were very direct. And this person has a problem with that. And so they were hurt and they agreed to like really never talk to you ever again. That's their pride. Their pride got in the way because they like to be seen a certain way. They don't they don't like it when people are disappointed in them. So it's like they saw you as blaming them because they weren't really there for you. So the thing is that this person has had a lot of time to reflect. And because they've had a lot of time to reflect, I believe that they've changed their heart. They're starting to see things from a different perception. And there's a lot of passion between this connection. See, Promethean fire is a lot of different emotion. It's not just love and passion though it's fire. It's rage, it's anger, it's it's just pure emotion, like every single emotion that's not just passion, but it's a fire. And that fire we can use to actually transmute our spiritual blocks. So this is a very spiritual connection. One that if you decide to step up into your divine self, and this person decides to step up into their divine self, that it's twin flame worthy and twin flame worthy that you guys could create something, because Promethean fire is when we take the fire of our emotions and we channel it into purpose. Now, we wouldn't do that with most people. We don't do that. This person feels like home. They feel, and vice versa, you feel like home to them. However, they do have a lot of spiritual blocks. And I feel like you have a lot of spiritual blocks too, from the way that you were brought up, the people that you've dated, just things that have transpired in both your lives. You have really tough wounds, and wounds are like just psychological and emotional blocks about yourself and the world around you and what you believe that you can have. So I believe that this person just didn't really believe in love, like to see themselves as someone that, I don't want to use the word perfect because that's too broad, but someone that's very successful, someone that is attractive, someone that, you'd mark off all the checks in the box. And this is how this person sees you. They see that you actually check off all the boxes in their on their list, right? So there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of respect, there's a lot, but you guys don't get along. There's a sense that you guys don't get along. And this person never wanted to look and see what they did. They would always just look at you. Now they're in a place of guilt because I do believe that they have an attachment. I think that they have a few attachments. We're going to look into that. But they feel guilty because they know that they neglected you. And they know that you see them as selfish. And it brings them back to this energy of shame. Now, remember, like this person likes to be seen as perfect. And when a person wants to be seen as perfect, well, then they usually do have shame because of abandonment and because they have attachments. So the attachment is the fact that this person is very imbalanced. And they know down deep inside that you would never tolerate that. Again, so they doubted quite highly that once you really got to know them, that you wouldn't like them because, again, there was a lot of triggers between you and this person. So what we see here is like, I have very strong feelings for you. You check up all the boxes. You're everything that I would ever want, but I don't understand why I don't get along with you. I don't understand why you trigger me as much. And that's really where this person's at. It's like they're looking at why they walked away through different eyes right now. However, it's making them do the deep dive into themselves to say, like, why? Why did I push this to where, like, you're not even in my life? Why? Does this connection create so much hostility for me to the point that this person just disassociates? And I feel like you can disassociate too because it's a trigger. There were wounds there, and the wounds of being open to love, believing you're both deserving of love. There's a lot of fear behind it. So the underlining energy is that this person like has a lot of different emotions for you. Promethean Fire says that. There's passion, but there's anger. There's sadness because again, this person like is forced to take the deep dive, meaning they're saying to themselves, why does my relationship look like this? If I have feelings for you to the point that I feel guilty, why? Why? I normally don't care. And why did I sabotage this connection? Why did I see you as attacking me? Why am I seeing everything different now? So again, this person's forced to go deep inside of themselves because Promethean Fire is like all this passion, all this emotion. It's hard for this person to move forward. It's hard for this person to, they just can't let this connection go. But staying in this Mexican standstill is so uncomfortable for them because they're like, it makes them look at themselves. And I don't think that this person has ever done that. And the issue is that they still have feelings for you. And what they see is you're not doing anything. So they feel like really powerless because they know that they disrespected you. And I feel like this person wasted a lot of time. They were hoping that you would come back. They were hoping, again, they wasted a lot of times because they didn't want to hear the criticism. This person is used to this. So understand part of the reason why they dealt with you this way is because this is the way that they deal with relationships. It's all about the sex. It's all about the passion. That's again also another thing that's fueling that Promethean fire, which is like the person's hot for you. They can't let it go, but as you can see, it's more like a dominance, like they want to control. They want to control you, but they don't really want to do what it takes to step into their divine counterpart, that their divine being, to be your counterpart. And this is also what they feel like relationships are, that they tend to go from, very passionate to absolutely nothing, to not being satisfied, which goes back to them saying, if you really knew who I was, this connection wouldn't last. And so they see it as like, again, that you would always see them as betraying. This person has been betrayed. That's why they view every relationship like, well, you're just going to hurt me. Well, it's not going to work out. Well, you're not really going to like me. Like they make excuses for themselves. But the problem is that they have a lot of passion for you. You stir up a lot of different emotions inside of this person, which makes them think, about what do I want for my life? I don't believe that this person tends to not, like, they focus on the moment. Now, it's not that we're supposed to get caught up in the past or caught up in the future. However, it's that we think about the future. It's like because we make plans for a better future. What we plan today is what is going to manifest in the future. So we have to think about the future a little bit. And the past, if anything, we should just extract what we've learned from those bad situations. This person has never really looked at those situations from the past. And so they were oblivious to seeing how they were really playing out in this person's life. So you come along, they don't know anything. All they know is I'm attracted to you. But like you infuriate me, though I have feelings for you. Like it's a mixed array of emotions which this person like feels very uncomfortable with because they're not really emotionally intelligent. See, if they haven't done any spiritual work and haven't really done the deep dive into themselves, well, we know that they're not spiritually intelligent. We know that they tend to just come from that ego perspective. So it makes them feel very not grounded. And now it's also where they are only seeing the betrayal that they've done, which that normally doesn't happen. This person normally doesn't care. And it's like they crave the balance. They crave the balance. They know what they have to do. So it's almost like this person may not be spiritual, but I feel like they've exhausted trying to manipulate, trying to strategize, trying to, create illusions to get you to do what they want you to do because you're not doing it. And it's like, because I feel like you can read the fact that they're not, and that that this person's impulsive, that today they're going to really want you, tomorrow they may not. It depends on their mood. The irony is they're not emotionally intelligent, but they let their emotions dictate their life. And that happens when people haven't healed. So this person has a lot of attachments, the addictive behavior, and that's to create the emotional fulfillment that they don't, that usually we would go out and we would get through investing in ourselves, through meeting different people, through doing things that stirred up our soul. That's how we get passion. We get passion through investing in ourselves and having a love affair with ourselves in life. And that's through going to all different types of restaurants, trying all different types of food, going to all different types of experiences, whether that's, oh, I've always been interested in cars, and you go to like a bunch of car places. I've always wanted to be a painter. I've always wanted to be a dancer. I've always whatever it is. I've always wanted to be an actress. Spirit says, take the lessons. Having a love affair with yourself means investing and pouring into yourself. This person doesn't do that. This person's very logical and analytical. And because they don't get what they need on an emotional level, and they actually came from a family that depleted their energy, like most of us, because our parents are not perfect. They don't know how to give to us the way a lot of times that we need. And it's not a blame game. It's just we're all incarnated with the wound of abandonment. Because here we are, we're down in the physical earth and we don't know, there's no directions. So on an unconscious level, we look for that stability. And I feel like you looked for that stability within this person, and they didn't give it to you. And they know that they should have. They see that it's betrayal. And they didn't really want to hear it. They knew that it was disrespect. They didn't think about you at the time. So it's like they let the relationship end because of their pride. But the problem is that they're still affected, and they didn't think that they were going to be affected. Because this person doesn't have deep, deep feelings normally. So it's almost like this person, they sit and they strategize. They strategize to try to figure out what to do. They go back into their own old patterns. But the problem is that they tend to like not make progress. If anything, they go backwards. They go a little bit backwards because there's a lot of problem that this is the problem, because this person has only gone through bad situations, and then they try to logic and strategize, and they're doing it through the wound because they're perceiving you to be like everybody else is, or they hear what they only want to hear, see what they want to see. And if a person feels bad about themselves, well, then unconsciously they look for you to confirm that, even though that's not what you're doing. So instead of the relationship again progressing, it winds up going like backwards. Like you feel like it goes backwards. And that's what this person finally sees. And they see that because you didn't come to the rescue. You didn't fix this. Most people fix it because they say, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. How are we getting so out of control? Wait a minute, especially with the spiritual connection, the passion. See, this person just thought that it was passion, lust, which Promethean fire can be confused as that, just the same way as lust can be confused as love. This person realized that their passion is not just lust. That's never happened to them before, ever. So they're actually being forced again to look at their behavior, and what they're seeing is, why am I like we're worse today than we've ever been? That's what this person feels, and they're heartbroken about it because they have a lot of passion for you. So they're in a place, and they never expected that. Like I said earlier, they never expected it. So there's a sense of them sitting here in a place of limbo, realizing you're not going to do a damn thing. You're not going to do a damn thing. And they wasted a lot of time They played a lot of games. Part of it is, again, they had promised themselves that they weren't going to come back to you, and that they weren't going to come back to you because they thought you were rude. They thought that you needed to give them an apology. They thought that you were toxic. What they're seeing is that they were really the toxic one, because you're holding your ground. See, they wouldn't even be looking at that if they didn't have feelings for you. But again, remember, the Promethean fire, like, is the divine. You know, when we have a soulmate twin flame connection, it's a divine counterpart. And in the very early stages, there's always a runner and a chaser, and they again normally switch. Now you're the runner and this person's going to be the chaser, if they perceive that you were the runner before. And the runner doesn't even mean that you were like running after this person. The chaser, rather, isn't even that you were chasing after them. It's the fact that you weren't going anywhere, that they knew that there was a spiritual connection. I'm realizing this connection is something special and worth treasuring. And that's what I said, that this person like didn't realize until they just completely destroyed the relationship that they had feelings for you. And now they're like, I don't know how to come back and recover from this, because they heard wrong. I feel you pulling away, and it's triggering my fears that you'll leave me for good. And that's what I'm saying. This person knows that you're intolerant, that you're not going to put up with it, and that you're not coming back. And what you're seeing is they're not coming back. They're sitting there, they're strategizing, they're thinking about everything that they did, but are they taking action? They wasted a lot of time. So I feel like you're like, I'm over it. But this person, again, longs for your kisses and your touch. Remember that Promethean fire, that passion, that they just can't let it go. Don't be tempted to disconnect from source. Our connection to source is the love and healing we require for reunion, soulmate, twin flame, right? I said the divine has their hand in this connection because it's the very early stages. So this person's not like, they're ready to step into a better version of themselves. However, they're not there. They're not there yet, because we see what's really moving this person are their feelings, the passion. You show up in my dreams. It helps me process buried memories, of course, because you're a past life soulmate. All twin flames are. What we are experiencing is a part of a larger collective clearer. Don't feel alone, because others are healing too. So it's almost like during separation, you're both healing. The divine is helping you both clear certain karmic programs. And that could be just unconditional love. Growing up in an environment where you were perceived, maybe that you perceived that you weren't loved enough, or that the way that you loved, wasn't the way that you needed to be loved. There was something with that, because in the early phases of a twin flame connection, you have two people that are wounded, and they're wounded for the same exact reason. They grew up in the same exact type of environment. However, the way that they learned to survive was very different. One decides to do everything logically and analytically, and they become very smart. They become very structured and methodical and meticulous when it comes to detail. They dot every I, cross every T, they do everything right. And then we have the intuitive that doesn't care much for structure, but cares more about the creative process, where we know there are no lines when we color. We can color outside the lines, which is the opposite of someone that's, meticulous. So we can see why this person gets triggered, and why you would also get triggered. And really, what Spirit is trying to show you is that unconditional love you don't have control over. This person doesn't have control over. It's like you may want it to look a certain way. It's not going to look that way. It's like you'll want it to look the way that your imagination perceived that it should have been, the way that you grew up looking for a person to give to you. This person didn't show up. They undervalued the connection. That's the trauma that you felt, I believe, growing up. This person is triggered by you because you're just not making it easy for this person. And that brings them back to, again, their childhood wound. You can't control it. You can't control love. You have to come to a place of surrender and that there's a bigger purpose for the connection. When we see Promethean fire, there's not just passion like lust, like that type of chemistry and unconditional love, but there's also this anger and rage and pent up emotional energy from childhood and from all the experiences that mirrored those traumas from childhood, which there are a lot, need to be channeled into purpose. Would need to be transmuted, those energies, because we don't just get rid of negative energy. We have to actually integrate the spiritual lesson and then transmute that negative energy. Otherwise, we can learn it in our mind, but never embody the new consciousness and never see a different result. Then we're just stuck in a karmic loop, which is what this person has been in, a karmic loop of never really believing that love exists, that it doesn't really work out, that it goes from hot and passionate to like not getting along at all. Meanwhile, this connection has been off more than it's been on, and the passion's been growing. So this person is like, I don't have control over this. And if anything, it's getting stronger. It's not getting weaker. Like I've done everything to weaken this connection. And because I wasn't coming back to you, because I felt you insulted me, you treated me badly. So I stayed away. And now this person is looking and saying, I created so much distance. I was such an ass. Now I have feelings. And I realize that I have feelings. I don't know how to fix this. I wasn't planning on coming back. And the energy is getting stronger to the point that this person is getting more guilty, you know? So it's like they feel like that they don't have any control over. They're like, I'm being changed. I'm changed. And they are, because they have to be cleared of those traumas. I know in my heart we'll be together one day, and that helps me trust. Let's keep working on us. So this person kind of knows on a deep level that they just feel like they're going to be with you because again they can still feel that unconditional love. The love is still growing. I think that it's what encourages this person to continue to do the work on themselves, so that when they come into your life, they will actually be on the same vibration because they've done the work. And the work that they need to do is, again, healing, integrating the spiritual lessons. And this connection is helping them do that. They just, again, are starting to look at their own behavior, how they contributed. Why did they create such a mess out of this connection? And why do you have such a hold on them? Like I said, it's opening up a whole new world for this person. So we have to say, this is their thought that they're going to come back. And that's because they still feel the love and that they don't know how things are going to play out. They haven't put that much thought into it, meaning they don't know how they're coming back. They just know in their heart that you will be together because that love is still there. So we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? We look at the inner child wounds, and the first card out is overwhelmed. Then it's shame. Yeah, that's the same that this person has. Trauma. We don't even really need to pull any more guidance, but we will. Friendship, dance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And I always like to pull like 2 from this deck just to deepen it a little bit more. Okay, but right away we see shame, overwhelmed, trauma, guidance. So no guidance because the environment was overwhelming. Could have grown up with an alcoholic parent, a codependent parent, parents that weren't happy in their relationships, parents that struggled with financial issues, inherited ancestral karma, family karma. So overwhelmed because, again, of the inherited trauma. And when that happens, parents don't have the patience to teach their children. They also tend to feel bad about themselves, obviously. So they want their children to be better than them, look better than them, because they feel that they're a failure. A lot of times when parents have inherited this trauma, they feel that they're, embarrassing. They feel inadequate. So they really want their children to do well. They want their children to succeed more. They're usually harder on their children too, because of the fears that they have acquired due to life not working out. So they try to prepare, but the problem is they're leading by fear. So when a parent is, trying to like guide their child and they're fearful, it creates a lot of shame for the child because the child sees it as, I'm not good enough. I don't have enough. Because the parent, like again, is guiding them through their traumas. So this is why it's inherited. So it's almost like your person didn't see a healthy relationship. And then they put all their time, all their energy, all their into studying that they didn't really create enough of their like who they are. They didn't go out into the world and find who they are. So there's always a sense of feeling like a little bit empty, because life is not just about school and work and study and work, work, work. Where's the passion? Where's the joy? Where's the happiness? And like I said, this person doesn't do that. They don't know how to fill up their own cup. The intuitive knows how to do that. The intuitive, creative person knows how to fill up their own cup. They may not be as structured and methodical when it comes to certain things, but they don't feel like inadequate to connect to people where this person does. So I feel like you also grew up with the trauma of not having the guidance and really, in spite, you still know how to be a good friend. I feel like this person like didn't really have friends, and I feel like you had that play out also where friends had betrayed you in the past. So it wasn't just very intimate relationships like boyfriend girlfriend and like that type of connection. It was also, like it was also friends, people that um you let into your life that let get close. So there's betrayal that keeps on playing out, and it keeps on playing out because the original wound is betrayal from the parents. And it's not really that the parents did anything wrong. It's that the parents did the best that they could do with what they had. There was no spiritual information. So they tried to deal with that relationship the best way that they could. They tried to go to work, they tried to do everything right, but they were listening to other people and collectively what looked right, but they never found themselves. There was no passion. They never never poured into themselves. I believe that your life is different, Scorpio, because you've been pouring into yourself. So you actually know how to be a good friend. And where I feel like this person needs that friendship, you would need to start off almost as a friend to rebuild the trust if it's something that you want to really pursue. Because dance tell is all about going with the flow, finding your rhythm, right? It's like where there's a flow in relationships. We can feel when it's comfortable. We can feel this person doesn't really know how to do that. They feel inadequate, but they feel inadequate because, like I said, it's not like they fed different areas of their life. They didn't. They were told you are successful if you get straight A's in school and you go to college and you do this and you do that and you do. The person did everything that their family told them to do, even if it wasn't college. You should go to this trade school. You should work for the family business. You should, whatever it was that this person did not create enough of themselves. So living safe every day, like Groundhog's Day, is boring. So spirit would actually have to bring in their divine counterpart, someone that was completely opposite, that approached life differently, that looked at life differently, but also went through the same experiences and still needed that healing, and that there would be this passion. But the what everyone's transmuting is shame. That's really what you're both doing. You're transmuting the shame, but that's why you attracted this person. For the same exact reason that this person needs to heal their wounds. And that's what a divine counterpart really is. It's like there's so much in common, but you're so different. And you're the polar opposite, the exact opposite. So with the twin flame connection, everyone is working to create balance, because we're not supposed to be too yin and only have feminine energies, or too masculine and only have those type of energies. We have to have a mix of both. And we see here is two polar opposites, that this person has too much yin energy, whether that's you or your person, and vice versa. Soul's calling. Again, living the path. Listen to the whisper of your soul guiding you. Align actions and values. Again, stepping into your divine being, your divine essence. And that's done through your soul's calling. However, you have blocks, this person's going to help you heal, and vice versa. And one more, which is guardian angel. Know that you are protected and guided by unseen forces. The way is open to you. So again, the divine has their hand in this connection. It's spiritually protected. And it's spiritually protected because the divine wants you both to clear these certain programs to be able to create. Again, soul's calling is actually that. It's to create, to be able to create. Now, everyone has free will to choose, right? So, I mean, you may say, hey, this person took too long to come back. I'm aggravated. They did too much wrong. And that would be this person's karma. You know, you have the right. However, what this is saying is think about that, because this connection would actually be a really good connection. So you may say, like, why would I have to do that? Well, you might need to learn certain spiritual lessons about compassion, forgiveness, and other ones. If it's a real twin flame divine connection, that's why. It's that you're transmuting spiritual blocks. And so when we have to forgive the unforgivable, a lot of times that's what it is. Poker face, beware of hidden intentions and underlining motives. See, I feel like you are going to approach this like, I'm not really quite sure whether I can trust you, which is actually good, because now you'll have strict boundaries. This person's not going to like boundaries, but you'll be able to teach them how you want to be treated. And if the person puts up with the boundaries, well, you know that there's no trickery. You know that this person is. Moonlit unity, use understanding to have greater emotional balance. So again, that's what you're being like asked to do, which is to, use understanding, which is compassion. Like it's about you evolving into the higher states of consciousness. So it is something that, it's not an all or nothing thing. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take you back and this and that, and I'm gonna give you uh the red carpet treatment. No, this person has to work their way back into your life. But you need to be open and compassionate enough to allow them to redeem themselves. If you have feelings, that's what this is going to require. It's like I feel like it's going to be a challenge because it's like the bottom line is you have a different ideas about love and intimacy. So it's almost like the relationship can clash. And that's what I said. It's that you're so opposite. There's so much Promethean fire because there is love. There is compassion. There is all of it. It's just there's also a lot of pain underneath it. And this relationship is tough because it's digging up every single wound you both have. So, and the way that you want to approach love, the way that you perceive that love should be, and vice versa, which Spirit is saying neither one of you are right. Because unconditional love, there is no ownership or expectation. It just is. And that's what you both have. This person keeps trying to control it in the beginning. Now you're going to be like, when this person comes back, like, now I feel like I need to control it. And what Spirit is saying is no one can control it. Is to realize that, yeah, that you are not, that opposites attract, but they attract because things need to be learned, that it's not an easy relationship. Connecting means that the universe is saying, well, it's a vibrational match, that healing needs to be done. But to say that it wouldn't be a challenging relationship, it's going to be. It's like I said, it's like it's about also this growing up in an environment that there were attachments. So anger ruled both homes because there's only two energies, love and fear. And so over time, the fear just doesn't feel good. So what happens is anger because people can't make their life work. Their relationships don't look good. So the first spiritual lesson that Spirit would say is, yeah, don't roar in arguments. Respect can heal wounds. It's lay down your pride, lay down your control. Stop trying to dominate the connection. This is a wound that you both have. So this is why there's a lot of push and pull. Where Spirit's saying this is test number one. Well, like this is a twin flame connection. What do you think that you're transmuting? Anger, rage, turning fear into fire. And really, the only way that that can be done is with the twin flame connection and also creation. Because both the twin flames learn how to compromise. They learn how to talk to each other without disrespecting. Like they're being taught how to do things differently than what they both were taught because they grew up in an environment that taught them that you got what you wanted by being angry, by being forceful, by being dominant, where Spirit says that's not love, that turns into rage and hate. And we know with the twin flame relationship that there's a very fine line between love and hate. This is why there's so much passion. That's why there's so much energy. But the energy needs to be channeled into purpose. We just don't have it to fall for each other. There's reasons why, and that you're getting this person to help you integrate the spiritual wound. Between the lines, uncover the truth carefully and write down your own ending. So what really Spirit saying, again, there's a fine line, and then you see between the lines, between love and hate, and Spirit saying, yes. And so what it is it's that be present, be in the moment, understand the connection, celebrate your wins, enjoy each other. Like a relationship that plays together stays together. And and being able to discuss things, right? Because this is all about finding emotional balance, really, be when we see that there's so much anger, and that's just a condition. It's just a family pattern. Like you both inherited that. Like no one talked to each other. It was more like people yelled, people belittled, people made you feel bad, people shamed you. It's again, it's our parents weren't awake back in the day. Again, they weren't taught from a spiritual perspective. They did the best that they could do. And so in this story, Scorpio, it's you and your person are learning how to heal those traumas and then actually do something with the energy. There's a bigger purpose to the connection, but it's not an easy connection at all. It's one that is extremely difficult because you don't think the way that they think. Your ideas of everything, from love to business to everything, are different. Your approaches to life are different. And that said that right in the beginning of the reading without pulling that card. Most of the cards that I pull wind up on the floor. Spirit ends off with this message, attention. Again, attention. Didn't I say be in the moment? It's I am attentive to all that manifests within me. When negativity rises within me, I transform it into light, love, and hope. My love for others is unconditional. I forgive. Okay. My desire to improve is constant. I am firm, brave, and hardworking. So what Spirit is saying, it's like it's a test. And the connection is hard because you will have to be present. You will also have to pay attention to the triggers that arise within you so that you can again transform them into light. And it's all about forgiveness, which is something that's really difficult if we were brought up in an environment that did nothing but shame us, that there was a lot of trauma, that instead of there being guidance, there was shame. And of course, that affected like the way that you interact within the world again and not trust people. If anything, it makes us feel very overwhelmed. So that's why Spirit's saying is like you both need to heal the same exact thing. And it's because you grew up in the same exact environment. You will learn balance through compromise, through unconditional love, through surrender, which is not easy because it's again, that's not the way you both were conditioned. But the unconditional love is there and the Promethean fire to transmute that pain into power. And that's what a real soulmate twin flame connection is all about, Scorpio. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonate with it because it looks like you're fighting a little bit with it because like you said, it's like right now you're playing like weighing all the pros and cons. Like you're saying, yeah, there's a connection. It's about emotional balance. However, we think very differently. Our approach to life is differently. So understand the universe is asking you not to change, but maybe to tweak and to compromise, to learn how to find that rhythm, that dance, right? To be able to go with the flow of life, even when we don't really like it, but that we can handle the situation not in an abusive manner, but actually through a very emotionally balanced way. That's again one of the main things of this connection, one of the main spiritual wounds that need to be healed, transmuted, and it's not an easy one. All right, I'm gonna leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.